I did try to get back with an ex. Like, whoa, slow down here, Becca. All right, now into the lovely dating relationshipy updates, discussions. I did try to get back with an ex. I knew we had unfinished business. I'd always kind of known that. I obviously was wishing for the best, hoping for the best, but I will say I definitely went in with a very practical head and mindset about it. I knew I am never going to be that person or that friend that's like, never get back with an ex. The terrible thing is the reason it ended. That is literally never going to be me. Not because of my own experiences necessarily, because obviously they haven't worked out, but mainly because of my friends and people and clients and people I know who have shared that they had a really rocky start, but they have been together now for 40 years, all this time, and they're so in love, or people more closer to my age, they broke up and then they got back together and it was the perfect time and they were both ready and willing to make it work, and now they have a beautiful family and a beautiful life and they're so happy, they're so glad they gave each other another chance. So I'm never going to be that person that's never get back with an ex. But what I will say is, which I went in being very honest about with this person and with myself, was there were things that obviously didn't work. There were reasons why we broke up, etc. Certain of these things have to be worked on, have to possibly be changed, and we have to be able to both work on these things together and not just peace out on each other when something isn't going the way we want it. And so that was very well put out there and explained beforehand. And I had felt like I was I thought that we had kind of come to a good enough place to get back together and to try it again. But looking back and being honest with myself, I think when someone comes back, when they really have hurt you in the past or broken your heart, I think when they want to get back in your life, I think it should come with first off, a sincere apology. I truly believe it should. Even if maybe you guys had reconnected months after the breakup and they had apologized for that situation, I think when they're coming back to want you back in their life again, I think you deserve a true heartfelt apology. And looking back, I never got that. And I think that was just kind of the beginning of what should have been whoa, slow down here, Becca. I don't know if they are ready, I don't know if this is a good decision. But I'm a very benefit of the doubt kind of person, and obviously I cared for them deeply, so I kind of overlooked it. And there were some other things as well, almost within a couple, obviously the first few weeks were going really great, but then as it got deeper, I was noticing just a lot of complaints about things that I had never even noticed when we had dated prior. It's actually something that I really appreciated about, I always will appreciate about someone, is that they're not going to complain often, and they're definitely not going to complain about logistics of dating me, of a drive or something that's inconvenient for them or whatnot. And that was just kind of a turnoff initially, and I was really struggling with it. But again, benefit of the doubt, and I really care about this person, and we're both trying to feel each other out and see if we can still do this. And there were just a lot of miscommunications and a lot of not feeling prioritized, not feeling important, and kind of feeling for lack of better words, just I was an inconvenience to them. And I know so many of you know how that feels, right? And it's kind of the worst. You don't want to feel like you're just an inconvenience for somebody. You want to feel special. You want to feel like they want to see you. They want to talk to you, that they are courteous enough. If a day gets busy and you haven't spoken in 24 freaking hours, they're going to call you and be like, oh, hey, I meant to, I'm sorry. Like, and if you didn't text, at least say, hey, this is why I won't be, but I'm gonna call you later. Like, there's just courtesy things in a relationship, especially when you're not just starting to date. Like, you've been together, you're now back in a relationship together. Like, there are expectations, and there are just like normal courtesy kind of things in any relationship, even in friendships. So that just kind of weren't being met, and that were extremely frustrating for me. And I'm sure my frustration was frustrating for them also. So there was just a lot of that. And it was just, I was constantly feeling stressed and let down and not good enough. And I'm just not at that place in my life. Like, I'm not going to feel like that. So I will call it out. And that's just who I am. And that's probably who I'll always be when it comes to that. And I think you should be able to do that. You should feel safe enough with your person to have those conversations. Like, look, hey, like, this isn't working. What can we do? And unfortunately, it would start that way and then escalate into something that's really hard to like come back from. So for me, kind of the long story short here is I expressed a boundary that I have like for myself. Always, it's something I've always had for myself in a relationship that I just would not appreciate from my person, right? We all have that. You all have those specific boundaries and those non-negotiables, right? Usually it's it's just like a little list, those little things that you know that are value, like your core values, things that are important to you, that you think are protective for the relationship. And then you have all the other things that are like compromisable, right? So, which I'm a very like, we can work out all the other things. We don't have to even agree on everything when it comes to these compromisable things. But the core values and the things that mean the most to me, and the things that mean the most to you, you should not waver on those. I should not waver on those. And if we cannot come to an agreement in this, we probably shouldn't be together. And unfortunately, something came up that I had to like restate one of my boundaries. And I was like, look, like, the past is the past. I'm not upset, but for me to be with somebody, this is a no for me. And I'm like, I hope like we can come to like that understanding and that you can respect my boundary here. But if not, I mean, I still expect you to respect it, but then maybe we need to like agree, like, this is like an unsurpassable kind of like thing, and we just need to like call it a day here. Like, have respect for each other, but like, it's not gonna work. And unfortunately, when I stated this and was like, look, this is a thing for me, like, I can't have this because it's hurtful to me, and it's just one of my boundaries. It's always been in my almost 31 years of life. It's gonna continue to be that way. And they not only didn't respect my boundary, they told me they can't believe I have that boundary. It's ridiculous. And that's why it's so frustrating for them, and they just can't believe it. Like, it's not that important of a thing to them to have in their life, but the fact that I have a boundary about it is an issue. And then they got a little nasty, and it got heated, and I got heated, and it ended in what all I can say is it's done now. It's done now. It was long, it was exhausting, it was unfortunate. I was hurting in the moment, definitely, but it needed to end, because once you can see like someone can't respect your boundary and isn't able to even talk through things with you calmly and respectfully, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Is it worth it? You know? And I just think in dating, it's not. I think there just comes a point where you have to accept that this person doesn't care enough about you to respect your boundaries. That, you know, either you're just not their person, and maybe they will do that for someone else. And I think you do. I think when you really want somebody, there are things you do that you wouldn't do for anybody else, right? I know that it is for me, but I just don't think I was his person. And like, he just wasn't willing to make those adjustments or to respect me enough to understand that. And that's okay. But it is unfortunate the way it went down and how it ended. It just kind of sucked. And mainly it was kind of like, it's crazy because this one boundary that I brought up when he started getting like frustrated that I had it, and we tried to talk the next day, and he started saying like hurtful things towards me and all this other stuff. It was like he started bringing up stuff that to me, it had nothing to do with what we were even talking about. Literally zero to do with what we were talking about and my boundary. He started going on, he's like, Becca, like, I want to do this summer, and I want to be able to do this, and I want to do this. And I was like, and I like think I had this face. I was like, well, I want to do fun stuff this summer too. But then I realized he wasn't saying I want to do all the, like, I want us to go here and I want us to do that. And he was saying, I have plans on my own that I want to do. Lots of them, they don't include you. I don't think you're going to be cool with that. Even though this had nothing to do with what we're talking about. And I want to do this and I want to do that. And he just kept saying, I want this. I want to do this. There was no we, there was no us. And I was just like, first of all, no one's saying you can't go do those things. Nobody, not me. I said, but secondly, I hope you want to spend a lot of the summer with me since I'm your girlfriend. And it was just like the weirdest moment. And then I kind of was like, wow, this really has nothing to do with me. He just wants to be single and I'm in his freaking way. So what are we doing here? And it's just kind of that moment where it's like, it's just not worth it. And I've just been so exhausted the past like month and trying to like figure all this out and like, what are we doing here? And do I regret giving it another chance? I don't think I regret it. I'm not big on regret. I don't have a lot of regrets in my life. But I am sad that I didn't like press in the beginning before we got back together on certain things. And that I took some wishy-washy statements as that he really wanted this and was ready for it and was willing to really work at this and to be with me, and knew that meant you have to have boundaries in a relationship. You can't continue to be exactly how you are when you're single, when you're in a relationship. It's just not realistic. In a more, at least I can't speak for everyone, obviously, but I'm a Christian, he is as well. Those are the people that I choose to date, obviously, because we usually hold similar values. And I had boundaries, and I expect my person to also have those boundaries. Obviously, there are things for me, like I was like, when I'm single, I obviously do whatever I want, whenever I want. I can talk to whoever I want. I can go out whenever I feel like it. And I believe if you're in a committed relationship, those things do change. You don't get to just do whatever you want whenever you want and your person just has to deal. That's not a relationship. You have to consider them and what you're doing. And obviously, I don't think you have to absolutely like take away your personality or anything like that. But concessions are made, boundaries are put in place, because now you have someone that you care about so much, that you want to spend so much time with. You want to invite into your life. You want to consider their feelings in certain situations, and you don't want to put yourself in situations that are more for single people, not for when you are in a committed relationship. There are differences there, and it might be old-fashioned, but I've always stated that's how I've been. I state that in the beginning of a relationship, in the beginning of a dating process. I always do. So it's not like it's like, surprise, I'm really traditional and I prefer it to be this way. Like, that's not how it goes. So it's crazy to me. I think in a relationship and in dating, whatever your beliefs are, be upfront. Be upfront before it even gets too far. And for those of you guys, girls, whatever, like, if you know that that person's telling you, this is what I'm looking for, like, I do stand by this, these are my values, I need that in someone, I need them to understand, I need them to respect that, or even to share in those things with them. If you know that that's not going to be you, don't keep dating them. Be honest. I think if we just were more honest with each other when we initially start to date and meet, this would happen so much less. Like, I just would, because there are so many people out there that are going to be more on your level with things, right? Like, they just are. And that's okay. That's why I'm so open and honest and forthcoming initially, because I know I'm definitely on the more old-fashioned traditional side of things, and that's not necessarily the most popular thing in today society or the world right now, and that's okay. And I've accepted that. I'm good with it. But then, you know, go find a girl that's more like that and don't date me. Like, that's all I ask. It's not a lot. So anyway, I don't even know if this has made sense, but I think it's okay to have boundaries. I think you should stand by them if they mean a lot to you. If you can look at your future and know it would cause some serious issues to pretend like that boundary doesn't exist or to compromise that, they're probably not your person, and it's not something you should do. And that's the difference between things that are compromisable, right? Like, if you can look at something and you don't love it, maybe it's not like your favorite thing in the whole world that they do or it annoys you or something, but it's not like a detriment to your relationship. It's not like, oh well, like, no big deal. Like, for me, anime, I hate anime with a passion. I hate it. I'm like, ugh, if a guy likes anime. But if I met a guy and I became crazy about him and liked him, and all of a sudden I found out he likes anime, am I gonna be like, I can't be with you anymore? No, obviously not. That's just something you just deal with. It's just, oh well. Don't have to agree on everything. Don't have to like all the same things. But if it comes to something like, I don't know, a guy, I don't know, wants to stay out till 3 a.m. without you drinking on a consistent basis, for me, that would be a line I would have to draw. That would be a boundary. Because it's just not something I just don't expect that in my person. It's not something I would want to do, and it's not something I would want from them or in my relationship. And those are just some like examples, the ones that come to like top of my head. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, I don't know. And I think you can really care about somebody, even love them, and then come to find out you're just not compatible. And that's okay. It's okay. If you're in dating, this is the time to be like, whoa, step away. Because that's why there's no reason to like let it continue and then struggle with these things your entire life, you know? So this is dating advice, not marriage advice. This isn't even advice. This is just me talking. But this is just where I'm at, what kind of happened with the whole dating fiasco in recent times. So here I am. I still will be dating. I don't know if anything's gonna come of anything. I don't even know if I'm gonna be going out on dates, but I'm obviously open to it because I'm in that phase of my life. Like, I know what I want and I know it's out there. And finally knowing that someone like I was really tied to for a long time cannot, like, it's just not that person for me, and I can't be the person I want to be with them, that there's somebody else out there that is that person, and that I can be me, and that they're gonna love me for it and respect me for it, and it's gonna be so good and not such a fight in the beginning. It's gonna be easy and fun and exciting. And not that a relationship's all those things, but in the beginning stages, it should be. So I'm excited for what the future holds. Not that I'm not gonna have bad days here and there, but I've been feeling better anxiety-wise. I have not been struggling like I was at the beginning of the year, which is really good. I think accepting a lot of things and coming to realization of things and not trying to force stuff is helping. So that's really great. And thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for being here. I'm going to be putting out more content. I'm going to be more engaged in this. I've been seeing the new subscribers like trickle in. I love the comments. They make me feel so good. I'm going to sit down sometime today and make sure I've responded to all of them. I'm definitely trying to do that because you guys deserve it. And I want you to know how encouraged I am by the comments that you leave. I appreciate it. I'm excited to start prep with you. I'm excited to share the good, the bad, the ugly. I will be sharing check-ins as well, more on my Instagram. So definitely, again, go follow me. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you the next time. Let's get it.